Hi, I'm Britton.
And I'm Spenser.
And I'm Prince Midnight.
Since 2011, Buckethead has released 295 albums in his Pikes series, inching ever closer to 300, and we're going to listen to them
3 at a time.
This is Getting Head.
Hello, head getters. This is episode 63 of Gettin' Head, a Bucketcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what do we got for 63 this week, Spencer?
We're close to 69.
I mean, we're
That's
6 away from 69, but that's you got to do better than that. You chose one episode to go with doing the number thing, and you just gave up, man. Come on, it's a deficient composite number. Come on, everyone knows that.
All right, okay.
Everyone who Wikipedia's the number.
I'm sorry. Is 63 a prime?
No, it's divisible by 3. 21 by 3.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And also, it's also a 7. It's also definitely a base 7 or divisor 7 number.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a 7. 3. 7 times 9. 7 times
This
9.
is great podcasting.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go on a math rant. Y'all can shut up. We have a guest today.
We do. A guest I'm extremely excited about. I've actually told this to everybody I know that I'm extremely excited.
I'm also very excited. We have Prince Midnight.
Musician, scene legend, creator of incredible works.
Yeah, just honestly, some of the best things I've seen on the internet in the past couple years have come from one person, and it's Prince Midnight. I didn't even know your name or that you made music until a couple weeks ago, and you have continuously blown my mind.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, and appreciate the kind words and everything.
Yeah. So what have you done to get here? Why are you being punished by podcasting?
Man, you guys,
Exactly.
I just got a message that you guys are going through the Buckethead catalog and invited me to come and participate. So, I listened to the songs and I'm here to.
Thank you so much for doing that. That's most of the guests recently, we're going through as you probably saw, a series of albums that are increasingly difficult to listen to. So we've been accused of just trolling people, and I'm like, no, we're serious.
No, I dig it because I listen to some noise stuff there's the big
Nice.
noise names. I saw Merzbow one time. They're big,
Hell yeah.
they're a big
Nice.
name in noise. So I get it. It's the first I listened to the music and it's kind of part noise, part kind of ambient. It reminds me of an old, maybe an old Mortiz record, but a little less less put together, a little more noise than that, but kind of the same atmosphere,
Yeah, and we'll talk more about the albums individually a little bit later. But
Totally. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so someone sent me the Lars Ulrich Toilet. We're gonna get to it. We got to talk about it. The Lars Ulrich Toilet. It's on everyone's mind.
Somebody
that sent that to me, and it absolutely shattered my mind. And then when I found out that you were the same person that made Uncle Guitar, I lost my mind. I don't even know. I can't process that. It's too amazing.
And for listeners who don't know, when Spencer says Uncle Guitar, he's referring to a guitar that were made out of the bones of Prince Midnight's uncle.
I got it right here, actually.
And it's the coolest thing.
Holy
we would
shit.
love to see that so much.
Can we see it?
I came up for 2 seconds, but I'll give you one of
Cool, yeah, that's
okay.
totally cool, yeah.
Amazing.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I put it in a cello case.
That makes sense. It's fragile.
What gets beat up is cartilage in between the ribs. I guess they like replaced that with like paper mache or something when they, or it's like not real cartilage. It's like
right. And so are the bones like cured at all, or do you are they like coated in epoxy or anything, or are they just like bones?
The bones are just kind of like they're kind of like they're kind of dirty. I didn't like clean them or anything.
Dude, that's so fucking metal.
That's the most metal.
That's the most metal way to go.
Still covered in blood. That's like that rules so much.
Oh yeah,
fucking Uncle Guitar.
Oh my god.
So there it is.
So what?
Yeah, as you can see.
Oh my god,
that's amazing.
I broke the ring on it recently, but
yeah.
So like all this cartilage and this cartilage is like some kind of, I don't know what it is, some kind of hard material. It's turned like brown over the years, and
interesting.
yeah, man, that's it. So, and then
hell yeah.
So I started
so
drilling
like,
into the bone. I was like worried I was going to shatter the bone. But it didn't shatter.
Sense, yeah.
I just drilled real slow and mounted the volume knobs here, and then put the pickups. And there's a bridge pickup, and there's also a pickup right here by the neck. So.
Nice. I didn't see the neck pickup before.
What kind of pickups did you use?
Those are Telecaster pickups, and like that is a truly interesting choice for this guitar.
Yeah. So, man, I grew up, listening to hardcore and punk music, and like my favorite guitar tone is there's like an old New York hardcore band called Antidote, and they recorded on like a 10-inch like practice amps, and with like a garage sale guitar. So like people were talking about the tone and you should have used humbuckers in this. I'm like, man, like that's just hey, I respect everyone who's like really into gear and like fine tuning a tone, but I've just always just kind of use what you have, and that sometimes if you're using stuff that's not traditional, like that's when you get the most unique, coolest sound that people try to copy 20 years later, and really you just use like
straight up
just some piece of junk you found in the garage or whatever. So I had a Telecaster copy, so that's what I used.
That makes a lot of sense.
I got better guitars, but I didn't really I didn't want to use like a Les Paul to like chop it up,
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. I like that. I've always appreciated that kind of aesthetic, and that's definitely something that I like a lot too. I like the idea of just like, hey, what you got is what you got. You can make anything sound good. Like the people that are like, oh no, you need this guitar, you need this pickup, you need this amp, you need these pedals. That's how you get the sound. It's like, sure, that's a way, and that's a valid way of getting a sound. But also, like, you can just build a guitar out of your uncle, with a Telecaster copy.
I mean,
that also works too.
You don't need a body blank. We all know that, like, for like electric guitars with hot pickups, like, but the body really doesn't matter that much. Like, use whatever. Use whatever.
If you get use whatever. And if you get something that sounds not traditional, I'm not going to say terrible because that's that's totally a subjective term. But like something that sounds unique, man, you just hit the jackpot. It's like the crazy cat lady that finds like the weird looking cat in the alley and breeds it and becomes a millionaire and into a new cat. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Make guitars out of weird stuff. My bass player, he's man, I don't want to say where he works because that got like him and me and like a bunch of heat, but he works at like he works in the custom wood shop at a famous guitar builder, and he builds guitars out of like, he started building them out of skateboards, and
nice.
Yeah. I think he thought he was gonna like make $1 million because he like copyrighted this idea and all this stuff, and I'm like,
I've actually seen those skateboard guitars. I know which one you're talking about.
They're cool. Yeah. They only have like really so much potential, though. I mean, they're kind of they're They're cool, but they're like pizza guitars. Like, how many pizza guitars can they actually sell? They look cool, but
it's a fun gimmick. But like, I feel like you don't need to copyright it.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
God bless you. But
I agree with that.
I want to make a guitar out of a Razor
Doyle
scooter.
from the Misfits.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that guitar. It's really something.
It looks like a World of Warcraft weapon or something,
It fucking does! Yeah. Oh my god, that's exactly what it looks like.
I mean, you go back to like the Gene Simmons axe bass that's just an axe.
Dude, it's got the fake blood on it and everything. Yeah. So dumb.
It's so dumb, but it's kind of cool. If like Kiss was actually a really cool band, it would be cool. But because Gene Simmons is playing it, it's not.
So you know what? If Kiss was a really cool band, you know what band they would be? They'd be Immortal.
Or Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, yeah. Either of those are fine choices.
Or actually King Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
King Diamond rules.
Cool. That's sure.
So, yeah. We were just talking about how awesome King Diamond was before the cast. Like,
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we were talking about it in reference to your music. Because, like, the way you deliver a lot of lines is very King Diamond-esque.
He's a major influence.
It's pretty dope. Yeah. I could definitely get that. Like, your stuff is very theatrical.
Yeah, he does concept albums that have a narrative story to them, and so, he's not the first one to do that, but man, he sure does it better than anyone, I think. And
yeah,
I fucking agree,
good, dude. Like Abigail, them,
dude.
My poor wife has heard them so many times. She probably knows the words better than most King Diamond fans. She's like, oh, the eye of the witch. Okay, Grandma, you're having tea with your dead grandma. Okay.
Grandma. Beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So good.
I love that rocks.
And, he's not afraid to, to me, like, I love his music and everything, but I just also love, like, his creative bravery, because there's a lot you could poke fun at with King Diamond, and he just doesn't care, man. Mm-hmm. He just follows his, follows his creative.
He seems like a theater kid who is also a metalhead.
Yeah.
Really amazing. Super, super good stuff.
So what I'm getting from this is King Diamond Toilet is next, right?
I mean, do you want to shit on the King though? Like, I get Lars Ulrich. Like,
so I would love to do something with King Diamond, but so if you want to get into the making of the toilet, you'll kind of understand why. It's difficult to just willy-nilly a new toilet.
So, for sure.
So this toilet, I don't know where you want to start with all this. You want me to tell you about the toilet?
It's just
like, well, actually, start at the beginning. Like, why? Why make a toilet that looks like Lars Ulrich, the drummer from Metallica?
So there's like this Facebook group. There are probably other groups, but it's called like Toilets with a Threatening Aura.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I get into like niche things, and I don't even look at it as like, oh, like this is comedy. Like there's something about those images, like archetypally, that people are attracted to, and just there's something interesting about it. Or like 100,000 people would follow it.
It's completely agree.
It's not just a goof. It's like, what about this? Is interesting to people, and so following that and seeing different, toilets, and I was like, man, this is an unexplored like type of art, and so I went.
Agreed. Yeah, and there's like
very true.
A weirdly large amount of examples of that kind of art represented on pages like Toilets with Threatening Auras. For sure.
And, there's some fine art examples like Marcel Duchamp's Fountain that was like kind of started the conceptual art movement in like the Dada era and stuff. So anyway, I like to kind of combine a couple different things I'm interested in. So I really wanted to do some kind of life-size sculpture, but I just felt like, I just couldn't imagine like doing like a sculpture of like, Tom Brady for like the park or something. So I'm like, so I had this idea to make a toilet, and I'm like, I want this to be a figural toilet. So, I looked around. I couldn't find any examples of anyone who had made a celebrity figural toilet. So.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
So I was like,
I mean, that's an incredible like late night search term, right? Like typing it into your phone at like 2 a.m. You're like Celine Dion toilet, Madonna toilet, like just going through all the celebrities you can think of.
Any of those people. So some people think it's like a diss on Lars, but honestly, I could have chosen anyone, and I chose Lars. I kind of was. Thinking Metallica, and Lars is already sitting down since he's like the drummer, obviously. And
Makes sense.
He's already on the throne.
There's certainly some parallel there with the throne. You could even say it's a bit of a pun, if you wish. But
there's like no better person that I could imagine to make a toilet about. Like that's the other thing. Like when I saw it, that like blew my mind so much. I was like, this is beautiful in a lot of ways. Like it's not only like funny to see, but it's also like very well made, and it like looks nice, but it also like doesn't come across like somebody's like saying like fuck Lars Ulrich. Like it doesn't come across like that. It comes across like somebody being like, there's funny things here, and I'm like paying homage to that, but at the same time, like this is just like a work of love because I think these things are interesting.
Right. And I think the piece evokes the question, why not Lars Ulrich?
Yeah, it truly is not meant to be like a goof on Lars. Like, if I could have made a normal sculpture of Lars, and guess how many people would have seen it? 0. I could have painted a picture of Lars. How many people would see it?
Very true.
0. So instead, I took my, creative interest in these, unusual toilets and, combined it with Lars, and, I think a lot of people got enjoyment out of it. And there's certainly people who are, think it's a goof on Lars. And that's cool about art is because, different people can see it different ways. And some people never think about it past just like, oh, I get to like pee on Lars. And that's fine because some people just walk by, the Mona Lisa, without just go, oh, there's that painting I've seen in high school. But you could invest a little more time and get more out of it if you want to, and maybe explore some other creative spaces that are unconventional.
Hell yeah. I love that message. That's so awesome, man. Like
that is great.
An incredible moment. Like these last few years with COVID and everything have been really hard. And like some things that I've seen on the internet, some people that I've met through the internet, like have really helped things be better. And that was definitely one of those things that like it was a momentous thing that I saw and like was just infinitely amusing, like everything that I saw about it, and it was just very good. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Also, like I'm like a visual artist myself, and I make a lot of visual art, and I love museums and stuff like that. And with COVID, like museums, like galleries have closed everywhere. Like museums are, shuttered, and it's like it's hard to like see art, and like seeing a cool piece of art come through my feed on like Instagram, that like never happens. Like even on my art Instagrams, but like. Yeah, I was very appreciative of that.
Thanks. To just I feel like that's kind of
out of nowhere.
Gosh, to me, it's like not to diss people who like, want to paint a picture of a pear and hang it up in like the library or whatever. But to me, I'm like the creative, the canvas now is like the viral universe. That's our collective unconscious now is what's viral. So if you really want to paint on a canvas that's going to be seen by a lot of people, hanging it up in like the library is not the way to go anymore. You got to create something that's compelling to the internet at large, or however you want to put it. So funny because the Lars toilet, those kind of things I thought about, and I wanted to create something that was compelling. But the Skelecaster, the skeleton guitar, was totally just a love letter to Philip, metaphorically, an homage, and I didn't plan on it going viral. I just kind of posted over a couple months different phases of building it, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if a celebrity liked it or how Instagram works, but all of a sudden 1 billion people liked the picture, and so it's funny because they both happened organically, but one was, I guess they're both artistic exploits, but one was they're conceived kind of with different visions. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah. And I get that vibe from those different pieces for sure. Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man.
Sick. Yeah.
The hardest one didn't really, and I didn't do it to get anyone to care about it. I did it for myself. I had a ton of brick because I wanted to put this brick pathway in the front of my house, and the city came by and they were like, "You can't do this," blah blah blah. So I had this pile of brick, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna build a fire pit." And I told my wife, "I'm gonna build a fire pit." She's like, "Okay," but she knows me, so she's like, "What else are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm gonna build I'm gonna build a bench and a chair," and she's like. So I start building it, and she's like, "This looks bigger than a chair." So if you look at my Instagram, I built a giant throne out of brick that kind of sits over a big fire pit with these benches. And, man, it took me, it was I had to learn how to lay brick. And, I mean, it was a ritual adventure to make this thing. But I love it now. It's funny, I never sit in the throne. I usually let someone else sit in the thrones. But, so that's another project that I...
Oh, shit, yeah. I'm seeing what... I see what you're talking about. That is huge. It looks huge.
Yeah, and there's there's a little more to it. There's a hidden area in the back of it called Lolarium. I had imported some of the red clay fired pieces are from Greece. There's Hermes on the top, and in the back there's a hidden altar with some custom bricks that I made and had fired. So I mean, I really spent a lot of time on it. There's a few projects like that on there if you dig around that. So I didn't do that.
That's awesome, man.
Get likes, but I just those are the kind of things that I do and share on my Instagram for whatever. I don't know why I'm telling you about that, but maybe because I really love that.
It's because it's dope. It's dope. Yeah, we want to hear it. That's amazing.
I'm a big.
Well, anyways, thank you so much for telling us that.
I'm a big.
That fucking rules.
Yeah. Greece is really important to me, and the whole Eastern Europe. I just have a real affinity to it. My family's from there, and I visited over there. I've gone all through the Balkans and gone to Romania, Bulgaria, all those places. So with Uncle Philip in the 90s. So.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's dope as hell. And now he's still with you right there.
Yeah. So this helmet is actually a Greek. This is a Greek helmet. So.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Nice.
I have the full suit of armor too, but it's a total pain in the ass to put on. So, and it's real.
That's fair.
It's real.
That's fair.
Too.
I saw that the price of chainmail has come down a ton, and I've been thinking about getting some chainmail lately. Chainmail's pretty cool.
You're just casually observing the price of
chainmail.
Yeah,
you can get a full headpiece for $40, and I'm like, what? Chainmail?
I tried to make chainmail. It's really hard.
That's what I've heard, but they have a lot of prefab stuff that's super inexpensive now. like, and on Amazon and shit. And I'm like, huh, all right.
Yeah, I buy my chainmail on Amazon.
Whatever.
Free Amazon, man. I bought a huge bag of those little metal circles, and I was like, putting it together myself, and I made a piece like this big, but it took me like 2 weeks, and I'm like, this sucks. So I just gave up.
Yeah.
Right. That's the story I've heard from everybody that tried to make chainmail that I know. They're like, it's just like, it takes so long.
That's the thing. It's like, if it's not a life or death matter and it's not real armor for fighting, you don't have that much investment in it. But back then, people were like, well, if I don't make this, I will die. So, you know,
man,
it's one of those things.
If I do make
even if you got the chainmail on, if you take a sword, you know, it might not like chop your arm off, but imagine the bruise you're gonna have. I guess it's better than losing your arm.
For real. Yeah.
Right? Like, it might be better to get your arm chopped off. Yeah.
Yeah. Old battles. Old battles is a hard time. Well, anyway, speaking of old battles, we're here to talk about our old friend Buckethead. It's the worst segue ever. Britt,
so it's, that was bad.
Yeah. Britt, would you be willing to hit us with a bucket fact?
I would love to hit y'all with a bucket fact.
Bucket fact, 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 bucket fact.
Today, we're going to talk about Buckethead's history of live performance with bands, so excluding touring his solo music. The first band Buckethead is recorded playing live with more than a few times is the Deli Creeps. Between 1991 and 2003, Deli Creeps performed live just 7 times. 7 times in their entire history.
Wow.
Between 1995 and 2006, Buckethead played live with Praxis 12 times, starting 4 years after their inception. Buckethead would join them for the majority of their touring during this time, but has neither recorded an album or toured with them since. And they don't bring a guitarist on tour anymore. Instead, they have a turntablist, which is DJ Disc, which we talked about, I think, last episode?
Yeah, I think last episode.
From 1998 to 1999, Buckethead would join up with as a side member for Primus in the middle of their sets for playing the Les Claypool-led song Buckethead, which he did 5 times with them, including all their Ozfest dates in 1999.
That's pretty impressive. I have no idea.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he's played with a lot of people. Buckethead joined Guns N' Roses in 2001, but only toured with them for about a year and a half before they stopped touring to finish Chinese Democracy.
We all know how that went.
We certainly do. During that time, he played 26 shows with them, which makes that the band he's actually played with the most. Huh. Between 2002 and 2004, Buckethead played with Les Claypool's Bucket of Bernie Brains, along with Brian Mantilla, and Bernie Worrell, 23 times, if you count the first jam session they had when Bill Laswell couldn't make it to play with Praxis at Bonnaroo, the day the band formed. And that's it. For his solo music, Buckethead has played at least 620 shows over a period of 29 years. The last being about 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean, and pretty much all of them are in a period of like 8 years. Like over 400 of them are in that. So like, I mean, dude was out for like 50 dates plus for like 5-6 years in a row, which is pretty big touring
gnarly.
Schedule.
Like that's...
Especially since a lot of it's solo.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Most of me doubts we'll ever see Buckethead play with another full band again that isn't his own. It's been 17 years now since he's toured with anything but his solo material. And given that's about half of his career, I don't see it changing any time soon.
Bucket fact.
Everyone remembers that, you know, that's where he was really hit, you know, got big, was that Guns N' Roses show, obviously.
Totally.
I mean, well, so he definitely had a bunch of like indie fame from when he toured with what do you call him?
Primus
a little bit, because you know Primus is a pretty big band, but like he didn't explode and he didn't become like an actual like public figure until Guns N' Roses.
I had no idea about the Primus connection. To be honest with you, I'm more impressed that he played those shows with Primus I never really was a big Guns fan. I was more of a Metallica fan, as you probably could guess by my toilet.
Definitely.
But I was a big Primus fan when, like, Sailing the Seas of Cheese came out, man. I was like...
Oh, yeah. Fucking loved that album. I'm a bassist, so I've been Les Claypilled from an early age.
Dude, man, I'm a bass player. I've been recording bass all day, so...
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, we listened to 3 Pikes this week.
We listened to 3 more Pikes this week. 3 more of the Days Till Halloween series.
Yeah, we're in it. We're deep in it now.
Pike 187, 188, and 189. Forgotten Experiment. What's the second one?
Light in Window and Blue Squared, respectively.
Yeah, they were kind of like
they got
the
a little bit
ones.
Better. I think this week
so.
was better than last week.
I would say at least like the first Pike we listened to, and the last one we listened to this week were both better.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's start with the first one. 20 Days Till Halloween, Forgotten Experiment, released on October 12th, 2015, just one day after the previous Pike.
Yep. Hey, there's some synths on here.
Hey, it's all synths, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's like some parts I think could be bass and I think could be guitar, but I don't think so. I think it's all synth.
Yeah.
I think it's a full synth album. And it's not bad. It's some of it sounds like very like John Carpenter-y.
Much more so on Blue Squared, but yes.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, for sure.
Yes.
Well, Blue Squared is the only one of these with like music.
How much time do you think? Is this just like is the song just kind of freestyle, like one take, or do you think like is this a song he could like remember the next day, or is this just him?
I don't think so. I think that the one take thing is probably pretty close. Like
for these albums, because he's releasing them one day after the other for 31 days in a row. So.
That's what makes like this particular run so impressive is like he released an album every day for a month, which is impressive regardless of the kind of music. I feel like some of these are kind of lazy, but the ones this week are a little bit above that at least.
Yeah.
It feels
most of these
considered.
Sound like they were recorded maybe more than a day. Maybe.
But yeah, this one he's noodling around with some synths.
Yep.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like a dude like in a guitar store, like playing around with a synthesizer a little bit.
He kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's not a total noob.
Yeah, but it's atmospheric for sure.
True. Yeah, there's some cool stuff on here. It's better and like I think more. I don't know. More of an actual horror soundtrack than the stuff that's come before, which is more like horror noise. Mm-hmm. This sounds more like it's actually meant for something. It sounds like it has more of a direction to it to me.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of a Halloween noise album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone find it like difficult to call them albums or you know, I mean, there's, you know, I think part of what and this is probably part of his artistic statement because, you know, art is what the artist says it is, you know, so if he says it's an album, it's an album, but, you know, I don't know if you guys are musicians, but, like, God, man, like, when I write songs and stuff, I kind of, you know, it takes a considerable amount of time, so I'm like,
for sure.
I don't know how I feel. I don't know if I don't know how I feel about it. There's part of me that wants to be like, this kind of cheapens the idea of creating an album, but at the same time, who am I to say what creating an album is? I'm just a freaking dickhead.
Exactly.
I could agree with you for a small percentage of the Pike series, but we're in a subsection of them right now where he's releasing them one day after the other. There are some Pikes that sound like they could have taken like a year to write. Like there's some Pikes that are very good music.
Yeah, for sure. And like these ones, like I do agree with what you're saying though. And like that's been something that's been echoed a lot in like the comments on these albums and whatnot.
Right. Cause I almost don't want to consider these Pikes because they're not like an expression of very good music put out very quickly. They're just like...
But like Prince Midnight so eloquently put it, you know, art is what the artist says it is, right? And Buckethead says these are Pikes. So by his own logic, by the artist's own intent, they are as valid as the other ones that came before it, which is an interesting value proposition, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're my least favorite children, though. Like, they're fine, and I get what he's doing. I get what he's going for, I think, but like it's just maybe just not for me. Mm-hmm. Like there's probably some people out there where this series is just all their favorite Pikes.
Probably.
And I get that. Yeah. I get that. But that's cool.
I mean,
it's not for me.
Noise music isn't for everyone. I mean, like I've gone out to a small basement and watched a guy play with pedals on a folding table, for an hour and scream into a microphone, and like that's been a fun time, but that's not for everybody.
Right. And so I can definitely say I don't think I like noise, and that comes from a person who has released a noise album.
Yes.
Yeah, I've released a noise album called God of Misunderstanding, and I don't think I like noise. I think I might have decided that after the fact. But
that happens to the best of us.
I suppose it does. It's I mean, I don't know how to put it. Like, it's good for some things. I just have a hard time just listening to noise for no reason, for just enjoyment.
I feel like the kind of like realm that I can get into is when it's totally just chaotic noise. I kind of have a difficult time, but there's a sweet spot that's like between industrial music and just complete chaos that has there was the first noise thing I ever heard was, that hardcore band Integrity?
Yeah.
Okay, so their singer had like a noise thing called Psy Warfare in the 90s. And I got it, and it was like, it wasn't industrial music, but it also wasn't just completely chaotic. Like, this Buckethead record felt like just very random and chaotic, and so there's like a sweet spot in there where I think you can still be noise, but it's like you're consciously creating some kind of atmosphere that has like a flow to it from like beginning to end,
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I definitely love noise in some things. Like, noise music is amazing for soundtracking things. There's so many like movies and shows now that actually like use noise for stuff, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
And also, if you're just like walking or whatever, noise is cool, like to actually like set a mood or whatever. But like, I guess I judge a lot of music by if I'm able to sit here at my computer and listen to it through my headphones. Like I listen to most music. And I don't know, it just doesn't hit the same way.
Let me ask you this. What unfortunate late night trip to the store is this album?
That's a great question. What are you getting? You were definitely getting I'm going to say like a Pepto-Bismol, because like you got a few symptoms.
Oh, tell me your symptoms.
You got a few symptoms. I mean, it's definitely like you're just basically pooping water.
Yeah. Butt water. And, you got the butt water going. Yeah.
You got the butt water. You got the real empty feeling stomach thing, even though you've like eaten recently. You got, I don't know. You got a red eye.
So you have pink eye. So you're describing pink eye.
Herpes. I'm just describing my life.
Yeah.
Broken foot.
Yeah. No, it's definitely that. All right. This one, I didn't hate this one. I like that there's synths on it, but it also wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't wasn't super impressive. Yeah. Moving on. Another Pike we listened to this week was Pike 188. 19 days till Halloween. Light in the window.
I believe it's Light in Window.
Light in Window. My apologies.
Light in Window. Released on October 13th, 2015, one day after Forgotten Experiment. Yeah, more synths. We got more synths. This isn't just guitar again.
This one I thought was the most interesting of this week.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
so I said this one had very interesting ideas. It was just very unmusical.
So this one, when I was listening to it, one of the notes that I took was big...
Oh, except for track 6, which was really cool and like just a single keyboard riff. Really cool song.
One of my notes that I took was big Zorn energy.
I guess this is kind of John Zorn-ish. I could see
it's
that.
Zorn-ish. It's Zorn-adjacent.
Yeah, it's Zorn-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you feel about this one, Prince Midnight?
Yeah, I kind of concur with those thoughts. There's a little bit more, there's a little bit more there for me to listen to than the first one. It's funny that you mentioned John Zorn, because I'm like in a John Zorn-adjacent musical project, so it's weird that you guys even know who he is.
Yes. We talk about Zorn all the time.
We actually do talk about Zorn a lot.
He's a god. He's a musical god who only wears camo cargo shorts, and I find that fascinating. Honestly, I'm just like, okay, sure. Like he's just like the modern John Coltrane, but he looks like he's in a fucking groove metal band. Like it's really weird. But I love the guy.
Yeah,
he's also John Zorn and Buckethead have collaborated together before.
Really?
And, have played together.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, John Zorn, his Japanese record label, released one of Buckethead's albums.
Oh yeah.
Buckethead Land, like way back in the day, back in the 90s. Lots of connections there.
My friend Sue Lynn, when I first got the vibraphone, we were writing like Exotica. And they're very into John Zorn and that kind of jazz guitar.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, it's funny because she would give me all this stuff to listen to, John Zorn stuff. And so I had never heard it before. But, some of it has a little bit of a kind of a exotic-y vibe, even though Exotica doesn't really have guitar in it. And by exotic, I mean like 50s, like lounge music with a tropical.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So that's something I'm excited. And it's funny because she's such a John Zorn fan that we actually got Mark Urselli, who's like a producer in New York who does like records all John Zorn stuff. He worked on a record and mixed the songs. So.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like at this John Zorn adjacent project.
Dude, hell yeah! No, that's true. John Zorn adjacent.
You're like 1 degree away from Zorn, which is like I'm like 11, which sucks.
Does that make you Zorny, Britt?
I wish I was far more Zorny, to be honest. I wish I had like a blue chew to make me Zorny. I'd get blue pilled as hell.
She'll probably play with him because she, her name's Sue Lynn. I think she goes by they now, and I apologize for using the wrong pronoun. But yes, they play for the punk band Propagandhi. Do you know that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. 80s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Propagandhi's still around? They've been around since like the late 80s.
Yeah. So they joined probably like 5 or 6 years ago, and anyways, but I think that their real passion is jazz music, and I know that John Zorn jam session would be a career highlight. So,
for fucking real, right,
dude?
I'm not trying to like name drop. You said John Zorn, and I'm like,
that's a highly relevant. And
we always want to hear about Zorn. This podcast is a Zorn hub.
Yeah, this is a Zorn.
I should send you guys some of these songs. I'll probably get freaking in trouble, but I mean, it's not like it's very.
We won't release them.
So it's not like there's like millions of people like ready to put it on Napster or anything. It's like.
Yeah, right. Like
for sure.
Yeah, like imagine leaking a John Zorn album.
Yeah,
you'd be like,
you'd be the only seed for like 6 months.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Thanks for listening." Like he'd download and be like, "Oh, I just needed an extra copy." My record label.
We're like the bargain basement version of that. So
it's better than being a bargain basement version of a bad band.
Oh, so, for sure. Like that. Yeah. That's like a cool vibe for sure.
I mean, I feel like everyone has been in a bargain basement with. Metallica at one point, and that's just a bad place to be.
Yeah,
we've all been in that band.
Yeah,
that covers Seek and Destroy.
Sometimes you're Lars Ulrich, and sometimes you're the Lars Ulrich Toilet.
That's a good point. I like that a lot.
I've never been in a thrash metal band. I did perform with this like band called Party Time once. That kind of was. It's like the singer of that death metal band, The Absence. They're on like
oh yeah, okay. I know that band.
Kind of like a Municipal Waste kind of band, side band.
Oh yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I sang part of one song on one of their records. So that's the closest I ever came to being in thrash metal. Most of my time was playing like punk and hardcore music, and I play a little grindcore on my records, and that comes from. I grew up in there was a band that kind of an underground band called Assuck from Tampa.
Oh,
and, they're not. I mean, yeah, they're underground, but they're huge in the grind scene.
Oh yeah,
that's like
every
drummer I know who plays grindcore loves Assuck.
Yeah, I grew up seeing them all the time, and the guitar player owned a record store in Tampa here, and they had shows every weekend. So. And those guys were
wow.
The guys in that band came from punk rock, except for hardcore and punk rock. Except for the drummer was kind of like he was in like Nasty Savage and like all these he was like a serious metal drummer, and so it was kind of like this hardcore guitar player and singer teaming up with this dude who's like extremely talented, was in like a major label heavy metal band and created that. Anyway, so that's really where
sick. That band fucking rocks.
Yeah.
I got into metal like that way, which is kind of a roundabout way. I was into hardcore and then I got into Assuck, and there's like a bunch of bands that kind of walked that line. And then I started getting into in the 90s, of course, in Tampa, going to Cannibal Corpse shows and stuff, kind of expanded into the greater metal scene or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Am I rambling?
Hell yeah.
No,
it's good. That's good.
No, we'll just tell you to shut it, if we need to.
Yeah. So, but crack that whip, Spenser.
Yeah.
Crack it.
No big deal.
Let's see. So anyway, closing out this album, Pike 188. What feral animal that you have to run away from on the street is this album?
This album is it is a raccoon. It is definitely a raccoon. But it's
just
not
a really angry raccoon. Because I don't want to run away from raccoons. I love raccoons.
So totally, and that's why it's so unassuming. That's why it gets you, because you see a raccoon and you're like, hey,
and
it's
you see their cute little hands, and you're like, oh, raccoon hands.
But what if they were holding rocks or holding a rock in one of those hands and running towards you, and you'd be like,
or a little tomahawk or something.
Yeah,
that'd be.
Or just running towards you. I think because raccoons are big, It's I think seeing one running towards you would be really unsettling because typically they just kind of scare you away.
By a raccoon, that would be the freaking worst.
That would be terrifying.
I know, they got big teeth. They
got big teeth and they carry rabies too. They're not
not in the
possums.
Northwest. They don't.
Oh really? That's
so
good
there's
to know.
no rabies in Washington. Did
really?
You know that?
So
yeah,
really?
No rabies in Washington.
I mean, they're. Well, there's got to be rabies somewhere.
It says on some website somewhere that I looked at a while ago that there's no rabies in Washington. I don't know. Anyway,
interesting.
Don't get the wrong idea. This is a pro raccoon podcast for sure.
It better be. We're over.
We love raccoons, but also the idea of one running at you in the middle of the night is terrifying in a way and unsettling.
We never said the middle of the night.
I guess I didn't say that.
One almost fell on me from a tree one night. That was.
Oh.
That must have been a trip. Like, you're just walking.
There was trying to be buddies.
There was screaming in my backyard, and of course, since I'm a wise person, I went outside to see what the screaming was.
Yeah, of course.
So I go out on my back porch, and I hear the screaming, and I look up, and it's two raccoons fighting in this tree, and I see one start to fall, and I take a huge step back, and it falls probably 30 feet, lands right where I was standing. And then it landed, and I just went inside. But I was like, man, if that thing landed on me, I would be so tore the hell up right now. But
yeah, can you imagine just like you're outside and a raccoon falls on you from 30 feet up?
I can't.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
that's way worse than a raccoon running at you.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think that's what this album is. It's a raccoon falling on you from out of a tree.
It definitely is.
Yeah. Pike 189. Blue Squared.
18 days till Halloween.
Does Buckethead always wear the mask with the bucket?
Yeah.
Yeah. Always does. No one has ever really seen his face.
Yeah.
Is it the same mask and it's a KFC bucket every time?
Yeah, he has different
buckets. Yeah.
And he has multiple copies of the same mask, but it's the same type of mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's a type of mask that was only produced in like 1984 or something like that, and so he has extras.
He's probably like.
Yeah,
I remember Richard Simmons used to be like, "Hey, if anyone has these shorts made in like 1982, like new old stock, I'll pay anything." But remember his little Richard Simmons?
Yeah.
Am I dating myself?
Oh,
Yeah, Richard Simmons rules.
You can't not remember those shorts. Those shorts are burned into my brain.
Yeah. So there was a time period where he would mention it on radio shows that he was on his last 5 pairs, and if anyone had new old stock to contact him. I swear to God.
I hope he got those shorts.
He's so rich, he could just make them himself.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
He could just find them.
Just hire someone and be like, here's a pair of these.
You can make a Ferrari yourself too, but you have the skill.
But we are talking about a pair of shorts, not a Ferrari.
I don't know.
Some might say there's art in both.
There's nuance in those shorts that we just can't perceive from.
There's nuance in my shorts you can't perceive. Neither can the ladies.
No one's perceiving No one's perceiving your shorts, Britt.
I wish I could be perceived.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all right. Speaking of it's all right, this Pike 189 Blue Squared is all right.
It is. I really like the first track.
The first track is really cool. It's
actually
like
music.
It's like a John Carpenter-esque thing, which is fun.
It's like just brooding synths playing slowly.
Yeah.
It's like droney, synthy.
Yeah.
Good synths. Love a synth selection.
Love a good synth.
Yeah, love a good synth selection.
Yeah.
Like, some synths just don't work together.
Mm-hmm.
You found some good synths.
Agreed.
Good team of synths.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the album's just noise. So 10 minutes of good song, and then 20 minutes of eh. But yeah, good first song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Yeah, you.
Yeah. I like this one probably. I think I like the second one the best, and this one second, and then the first one felt like a real throwaway. Like he spent 2 minutes on it. So yeah. I can appreciate some noise for ambiance in there. It's a better mixer than it is by itself. Let's say.
Totally.
Coconut cream is a good mixer for your pina colada, but you don't want to drink a whole glass of it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good coconut cream.
I love some coconut cream. Coconut cream's really good.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
it's
great.
So good. It's so thick and just sweet and yummy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Makes for a real good curry.
Oh, put a little bit in your iced tea.
Oh, yum.
Amazing.
Pretty good. Good stuff. Yeah, it's cool to hear Mr. Head
We can call him that, sure.
Mr. Fine. Head, do some stuff in the synth realm. And like we've heard 2 synth albums this week, which is new.
We have.
It's cool.
Yeah, because he's mostly just been doing ambient guitar, which has been not my favorite.
Not my favorite either. Gotta say.
But I prefer the ambient synth, to be honest. It sounds more like Halloween soundtracky and I think generally spooky.
Yeah. I mean, these albums are, the Halloween store spooky sound effects CDs. Like, that's how I see this whole series.
True.
Right? True. It's like the $2 CD that you buy to, like, play for the Halloween decorations.
Right. And so I guess for this album, I have to ask, what Spirit Halloween, or what previous building was in the Spirit Halloween that occupies this space that this music is playing?
So what building did Spirit Halloween take over?
Yeah, lease for a month.
This is a Kmart. This is an old Kmart.
Interesting. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, so check that out. It's a Kmart. Originally, it was built as a Kmart, and then it was converted to a Walmart later on, and then the Walmart closed down.
Interesting.
And now it is a Spirit Halloween.
You know what I'd love to see that would be absolutely iconic is a Spirit Halloween takeover an abandoned Pizza Hut.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine a Spirit Halloween? It's just like the roof along with the sign. It'd be so good. Where do you think this belongs? Prince Midnight?
I feel like old Pizza Huts are all sorts of things.
Yeah, I love it when they become Chinese restaurants. That's great.
There's like a massage
the roof still works.
I think you can get an HJ at an old Pizza Hut.
We got to consult our sponsor, rubmaps.org.
Can I go there for a stuffed crust still?
That's $80 extra.
You can stuff the crust yourself. That reminds me, I was at Little Caesars when I was 16, and
hot and ready, baby.
There was this guy that I don't mean to get too vulgar here. I'll keep it kind of PG.
Oh no, as vulgar as you want.
You can say whatever you want.
Please say anything.
We're not guy censored. That worked there that he got caught because after hours he would use the leftover dough and make a full woman's body and like decorate it with like he put pepperonis where the nipples are, and he would hump this giant pizza dough.
Yes.
And someone came back to the store and like saw this happening, and he got fired.
That's incredible.
I would love to fuck a pizza lady.
If that happened now, it would be the biggest story. So you want to make the viral story? Get caught humping a pizza dough lady and have someone video the evidence afterwards. There you go.
Oh my God! If they got him on camera,
this sounds like your next artistic project, right? Like a pizza real doll of somebody, right?
Oh my God, that's incredible! A pizza real doll. Yeah, wow.
I feel like I've already shamed my poor family enough with. So I might have to. I've had some ideas that are a little risque, and I've always kind of steered away from that. It feels too easy because you do anything that's a little risque, you can get attention for it. So it's it's like.
But I mean, it comes from a real place, though.
It does.
It's not.
Yeah.
You're not just making something shocking to be shocking. You're like expressing the worlds of fucking a pizza lady, which is someone's world. That was an experience that a human being had, and
a pizza. Don't forget the pizza.
Yeah, I was affected by it. Obviously, I remember it, and it was a long time ago. You know,
right?
I almost am affected in a creative way because that really is like, I don't know, that pizza lady could be in like a folk art museum or something today.
Right. So
good.
Do you think as an artist you can draw a direct line of inspiration from Pizza Lady to like Lars Ulrich Toilet? Do you think there's some like kind of uncanny valley or maybe like uncanny restroom thing that has always kind of like been in the back of your mind?
There's probably other restroom things, but that wasn't in a restroom. It was like on that like stainless steel table that they make the pizzas.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Like the prep table. That was my first thought. Like, did he make like legs that went like hanging down off the table, or like that he can like, grab onto?
Or was he folding it up? Was he like doing the legs up and like?
So
there's a lot to
see this. So I got hired in the aftermath of this.
It
was like
amazing.
The manager seemed like real straight laced, and then like one night we were closing, and he's like, "Hey, did you hear about?" I think the guy's name was Nate. Did you hear Nate like fuck the pizza dough? And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, this guy used to work here, and he made like a pizza lady out of a bunch of dough, and then he like, decorated it with the vegetables and like humped it, and he got caught and fired." And it was like the way he told me, it was really weird. Like I was like, I'm like, I don't know. It was a real weird vibe. I don't remember if I tried it or not. Like, I might have taken a dough.
No shame if you do.
Yeah, I would. I would have at 16.
I don't know if I'd make the full lady.
Yeah,
that's
a
much
lot.
Dough and so much
like
I just close my eyes and think about a lady and have sex with like some dough in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
just make a pizza dough pocket pussy.
Not that, I'm just trying to think. I really truly don't have a recollection, but in my mind I feel like if I could step into my younger body, I probably was like, maybe this was a great experience, but I don't have any recollection of doing it. I wish I would have. I'm too old and jaded now to experiment like that, so.
I know how it is. That's one of the side effects of getting older, right? It's like...
Yeah, like once you hit 30, you just don't want to fuck pizza dough anymore. You're like,
nah.
That's when I was in my 20s, I would have fucked 30 pizzas. But,
I mean, we might be tapping into something that's, maybe this is, they say you never know when you have your $1 million idea. People love pizza.
That's true.
And people love humping. And so I always say combine two things that people love into something new, and you can, create a compelling piece of art. So
1,000%.
Although one would imagine
maybe I should do
calzone would be much more pleasant, right?
Yeah. Let's do it. Do it.
Maybe I should do it. So I'd have to. So, gosh, that's the kind of thing where you're like, hey, man, I could get your pizza shop on, like, the national news, and then you tell them why, how, and they're like...
You have to find, like, a really cool pizza place, like...
There's a lot of cool pizza dudes out there. Like, the entrepreneurs who decide to, like, open a pizza joint are, like, two types of people. Italians...
And stoners.
And just, like, stoner shitbags. Yeah, who will be like... Yeah, dude, that sounds fucking funny. Let's do that shit.
So it was my understanding that the pizza woman that this guy made was not cooked.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. What I would think. So here's can I pitch you something? So this is my vision for it, right?
Yeah.
My vision is that you make a full size woman out of like pizza dough and cook it so it's like finished, and then maybe like hollow out certain areas and fill them with dough, and then decorate it, and then you presumably, I guess, like either you yourself or you hire someone to like actually have sex with it and film it, and then you release that on the internet, right? Like, I don't know, maybe that's too extreme, but like
no.
that's what I would think. Like,
you do it on like one of those ones where you upload it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I mean, there are sites that will host that content, you know.
I mean, there's a lot. You're not like, it's not like there's no it's victimless, So
yeah, exactly. Like it's purely wholesome.
I mean, I feel like I'm setting you guys up for a viral story here. I feel like, you know, I'm throwing you the pitch, and you got to hit it out of the park here.
That's it, bro. We got to fuck a pizza.
We got to go back. Yeah.
I feel like you guys don't have to do it yourselves, but there's people that would. There's people whose job it is for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
And you guys
totally. Yeah. You hire a professional for a job like that. You get them in there and you say, "Hey, this is what I need. Can you deliver?" And they say yes. $700, and I say absolutely. And then
let's get ourselves a real Papa John
paper, right? So you put an ad in paper looking for someone who loves pizza and also loves to have sex, and they'll be like, "That's me."
Yeah, and then it's like you say like adult industry experience preferred. We'll accept references.
Looking for pizza models. That's all it has to say.
What if it's just looking
money signs?
Looking for pizza sluts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, calling it the pizza slut is a great idea.
You know, you could even go no human nudity. What if you made, because you got the sausage, so what if you made a full male and then just kind of puppeted it, like you kind of
made the pizza people fuck.
You could
I like this even better. Yeah, I like this even better.
Black like lycra suits like puppeteers wear, so you're like,
okay,
and then you're kind of like doing the motions.
Hell yeah!
I think you could probably get that on YouTube.
Yeah,
I mean, you could also get it taken off YouTube.
You know,
no, for real. Like
this is the future.
That's probably the move.
I feel like that. Maybe can you get simulated love making on YouTube? I don't even know what the rules are.
I don't know.
That's a great question. I mean, I imagine you could do it. I don't know. Like if people were fully clothed and just dry humping, I think you could get that on there. I think it really depends on like how much you're like actually simulating the genitals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a great question. Let's test our luck. Let's test our luck, Spenser.
Hell yeah, let's figure it out. Before our next section, I want to use the restroom.
If someone hears this and wants to do it, I want to be an early investor. I want to be like, what do they call it when you're like, you know, not an investor who's not like known to be an investor. What do they call that?
Oh, an angel investor.
Silent partner.
Yeah, an angel investor.
Yeah, there you go. Silent partner. In on the ground floor. Yeah. Pizza Sluts Unlimited.
Yeah. Unlimited? When did we decide
that?
I don't know.
Maybe Pizza Sluts Limited. There you go.
Yeah, I like LLC. Yeah. We should be a limited liability.
I feel like
because if someone burns their dick,
really you could do a lot more because you could do like all fours. You know, you could do. You know, you have more structure there. You could even really kind of you could put an infrastructure inside, like get some kind of a rebar, like steel rebar, because you can put rebar through a pizza oven. It's not going to do anything to it.
For sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
you could definitely put a lot of stuff in a pizza oven.
Yeah, you could put a full human body in a big enough pizza oven. Or a full dough body.
The dough body, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, depending on your thing. But yeah, before our next thing, you said you needed to
Let's do that. Is it okay if we take a quick break and then do the rest of the show?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Do you ever pee like in a cup or anything? Or?
Oh, I've got a lot of stories about that, yes.
Oh, Spenser lived in a van for a while, so he's peed in all sorts of containers.
So many different containers. Let me tell you, best container, wide mouth Gatorade bottles. The best container.
How about a wide mouth Billy Bass?
Oh yeah, that's pretty
Billy
good.
Billy Bass, like the fish that sings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool to pee in one of those.
I'll tell you guys this little thing that I do. But whenever I pee in a bottle, I write on it, "Do not drink, tastes terrible," and then leave it somewhere. I don't know why.
Nice.
I just think that's really...
Actually... a fun story real quick. Someone, like, tried to recycle a bottle of urine in my condo complex.
That's amazing.
Which is really weird because I live in like a rich area.
How long ago was this? Because it could have been me.
This was like 2 days ago.
Okay, so it was not me.
It looks like it looks like they like were pouring it out of something and just missed the bin because it's just sitting like next to the recycling bin and has been for several days now. It's like a water bottle.
Oh.
Like a Costco Kirkland water bottle.
Oof.
I hate peeing in a water bottle because you gotta line the holes up, and it's just a little bit sketchy.
And then you have to like press down the dickhead a little bit so you get a little bit of air, so you can like air can escape, or else it's gonna like spray all over you. And it's like it's really tricky.
Spray.
Like so, the trickiest. So let me tell you a little bit about pee jugs, okay? Like I'm an expert on pee jugs. So like when I was living in my car and I was peeing in bottles a lot, like I would use like 2-gallon jugs because I would like buy them and then I would drink all the water and then I would like pee it out into the bottle. But like those were the best for capacity, but they were not the best for the opening because it was not very wide and you had to be really careful. But the good thing about those is they were heavy enough that you could like set them down, they wouldn't like tip over. Because some of like other like smaller bottles you could definitely like tip them over and stuff if you weren't careful. And it was hard. It was a life.
Yeah. That's fair. I've only peed in a bottle like twice.
Oh my God!
Life.
Wow!
Dude, I peed in a bottle
you sweet summer child.
I know.
I've peed in a bottle probably
I
10,000 times.
That's
amazing. Yeah. Spencer, do you think you can match that? Do you think
not 10,000? But you know, a lot.
Yeah, like I'm actually not sure. Like now that I think about it, like it's definitely like it's been so many times. Like. Thousands of times, definitely.
They say you're not an expert until you've peed in at least 10,000
And I agree with them, the wide mouth Gatorade bottle, not because, like,
yes.
I'm not suggesting, like, I don't think penis size really matters, like, when it comes to that, but just, like, you don't have to worry about clogging up the air if it doesn't spray back. Yeah. You don't have to really, you can kind of just let it hang in the bottle and just, you can do something else,
just
like
go
fishing or something.
The only bad thing that happened to me though using those are great, but like I definitely had times where like I had more pee than the bottle could hold because the bottle only holds 32 ounces, and like I apparently have peed more than 32
ounces. More
ounces?
Than 32 ounces of pee? You have an enormous bladder, Jesus Christ!
Like
that's a quarter. That's a quart. You have more than a quart bladder.
I feel like though
I don't think I can even hold a pint in my bladder.
I feel like you can stop. I feel like when you've let that much out, though, you can stop yourself from peeing and go back to like holding your pee, and you got a significant amount of time, so you've got to revisit that. So
agreed.
Interesting. I really can't hold my pee until like it's all out. I'm not good at that.
You can. You just haven't tested.
I'm not good at it. And I have a strong ass prostate. Like my prostate's a titan. Like I beat it up daily. So I don't. It's war torn. It's got the 1,000-yard stare.
It's France after World War I up in there.
And World War II.
There are 500,000 dead mules, dude. Like you have no idea.
Just it's my own trench warfare.
Anyways, Prince Midnight, an incredible guest. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. And check out, everyone listening should check out your works. Where can we see you on the internet? Where can we follow you?
I mainly do Instagram, and I'm like really bad about it, but I've been pretty good about posting on there. So yeah, you can go on Instagram, and I post just pictures of shows and just stuff I'm working on, and I'll get an idea to start working on something. So I think some people enjoyed after the skeleton guitar. They followed me and saw some of the other things I did, and then they saw the Lars Toilet from conception when I just had the sketch, and there was some people who were really supportive and followed the whole process from conception to it going viral, and so there'll be something else. So if that's something that interests you, it might be something that doesn't go viral, it might be something that goes viral, but I'm into something And then I got, you can just look up Prince Midnight on any streaming service, and I play like I don't really know how to define it. It's like kind of extreme metal mixed with like goth rock with like vibraphone. I don't even really, whatever. Someone come up with
it's hard to define, but it's really cool.
Yeah, Britt and I listened to some before the stream, and it's awesome. You should check it out there. Pretty good.
It's not a joke. I poured my heart and soul into it, and I'm really proud of it. And it's weird. Like, if you want to listen to, like...
It's so weird, but it's got so many cool elements.
Record, get an Insect Warfare record, get a, Assuck record. If you want to listen to, like, something that you haven't heard before, get a Prince Midnight record, so...
Well. Unfortunately, Prince Midnight has kids. Well, I mean, not unfortunately he has kids, but unfortunately he had to take off because he had to go take care of his kids. So, yeah, we're just going to do the last couple segments of the show by ourselves.
Back
in the bucket
so,
void.
Unfortunately, Prince Midnight had to step away. But, Britt, I was wondering if you would like to accompany me on a journey...
wherever for
into the bucket void. Bucket void. Bucket void. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Britt, we're here. We're here in the part of the show where we talk about the horrible parts of the internet and, all that stuff, YouTube. YouTube, Britt. Yep. We're here to talk about it. It's YouTube.
Yep. Your
tube.
YouTube? My tube.
It could be
tube. Our tube.
It's not our tube yet. There's a lot that needs to happen.
We got to nationalize it, make it a public utility.
Public utility tube.
Yeah,
exactly. Kicking things off, YouTube user CKillis says, 5 years ago, the key is to sync all tracks together and play them at the same time.
Thank you.
Actually, so I actually looked this up, and somebody had made a video on YouTube of Pike 189 Blue Squared, all of the songs playing at the same time on 6 different Android phones.
Wait, what?
You just have like 6 Android phones sitting on a table, and they're all playing different Buckethead songs from the album Blue Squared.
Yeah, but
they're all.
I feel like there's so many easier ways to do this.
I know. That's why it's so fucking weird and funny, and that's why I highlighted this comment.
That's fair.
I thought it was pretty darn funny. But anyways, look up that video. I forget who made it, but it's on YouTube. You can find it. It's pretty good. Anyways, moving on. Katie Marigold says 6 years ago, I'm starting to think Buckethead is a master of Photoshop as well. And I agree, actually. Like, so I mean, in the sense that the most recent Pike album arts have been very good. I think they've been really...
Yeah, but we don't know for certain if he does them.
We don't.
Frankensoos does a lot of them. P-Sticks does a lot of them.
P-Sticks does a lot of other stuff, too. Yeah, it does.
Frankensoos also does like a lot of computer stuff and like computer animations and stuff. So I would not be very surprised if this was a Frankensoos cover.
I don't know, but like if it is, dude's awesome. He looks really good. Like the art looks really good.
Whoever made it,
pretty darn rad. So speaking of John Zorn, YouTube user Nano P Brain says, and that's spelled P-E-E. They're P Brain for sure. 6 years ago, I normally listen to jazz, so at first I had to check my computer to make sure I did not have music already playing in the background, but I kept hearing horns. Sure enough, it wasn't my music playing in the background, it's his album. It would have been sweet if John Zorn would have made an appearance, but still, Buckethead rules.
Man, if John Zorn plays on your Noise album, you've made it in a very, very distinct
That's fucking
way.
real. That's real shit right there.
But you have also failed in every other way. I
mean, you're succeeding in the way that is important, and that is the Zorn playing with John Zorn, which is fucking rad. We love that. We're Zorn stans here, as established. YouTube user P. Tracy says 4 years ago.
Well, we've talked to P. Tracy before.
Yeah, their picture is like a sexy girl, which I think
they're definitely not a sexy girl.
No, they're not. Yeah.
They're the opposite of a sexy girl.
Yeah. 4 years ago, they say part 6 was actually pretty cool with that eerie ass keyboard. ass keyboard.
Imagine a keyboard shaped like an ass. Like, how would the keys be?
Hell yeah. YouTube user Snooby says 10 months ago, very tasteful for the style diggers.
I have no idea what he's
I have no idea either. I really don't know.
I'm very confused. But yes, you were right, Snooby Tooby. Snooby Tooby's zonked, by the way. That dude is
goodbye,
anyone with the name
Snooby Tooby.
Shut the fuck up. No.
But yes, actually.
Snooby Tooby sounds like something Jay and Silent Bob would say.
It's Snooby Toobies.
Or Jay.
Yeah, it actually really does. So there weren't a lot of Buckethead comments on there's not a lot of comments on these Pikes that we listened to this week. So I sourced some other Buckethead related comments on just other YouTube videos with Buckethead on them. We're just gonna skip that one. YouTube user Mango Blue says 6 months ago edited. This guy deserves a statue same size as the Statue of Liberty in every country of the world. Damn. Make it in every city.
That would bankrupt like the entire world.
The entire world's economy destroyed just to have Buckethead statues in every city, in everywhere.
Just imagine like yeah, we're gonna go meet at the Buckethead statue. Wait, which
Buckethead
city?
Statue? There are thousands, hundreds of thousands
like
of Buckethead statues.
The local municipal Buckethead statue, or that's a dystopia.
Truly,
right there.
Truly a dystopia.
As much as I love Buckethead, that's dystopia.
Speaking of loving Buckethead, YouTube user Pam Wen says 1 month ago, I've seen him play I've seen him played this twice, and it was epic. Plus, I was on everything. But this is one of his best performance.
So, like,
that's what I'm assuming. Yeah,
what she was on. Yeah.
I like that idea. I like the idea of somebody just like being like, hell yeah, I want to get fucking blizzazzled and go see Buckethead.
And their name is Pam. Imagine someone named Pam getting high.
I mean, this is a regular occurring joke on Archer. There's a character named Pam, and that character goes hard.
Yeah, very true.
It's good shit. Moving on. YouTube user Lee Stanford says 2 days ago, he makes me miss Dime. I can hear a little Dime in there. Just brilliant.
Okay.
No.
I mean, yeah, I guess there is some Dimebag Daryl in there, but
do you think there's a little Dimebag in all of us?
Yeah, I like to believe that. That's actually my conspiracy theory. Is there's a little Dimebag Daryl in all of us, controlling us like giant robots.
Big Dimebag.
Yeah.
So this is just a picture of the Lars Ulrich Toilet. Now, because Prince Midnight was going to guest on our show and did and was wonderful, I prepared a segment of Bucket Void to enjoy with them, but now it's just you, Britt, and I want to make you uncomfortable.
That's fair.
Telling you that. So anyways, I had shared this image on my meme page, and it got a lot of comments, and some of which I thought were kind of funny, and I wanted to share those because it's a fucking Lars Ulrich Toilet. YouTube, or I keep saying YouTube. I'm so used to YouTube. Instagram user Tommy is Dead says, this is definitely at the backyard of some band's rehearsal space, and it's a huge deal in their lore. I'd like pretty to believe appropriate. We'll skip that one. Instagram user Vulgar Store says, "Where do I get one of these? Always wondered what it would be like to shit on his lap."
Have you always wondered that, Vulgar
right?
Store? Have you? Do you wake up every day and you're like, man, I wonder what it would be like to shit in Lars Ulrich's lap?
Can you imagine how uncomfortable it would be to shit in anyone's lap? Like, there's a person that you're sitting on, or like it's sitting above, and like you now have to defecate, and that's gonna go onto them or something.
I mean, you don't have to. You want
to. I mean, that's a lot to imagine, especially about a celebrity.
Yeah.
Even if it is Lars Ulrich, I don't know. What
if you're like the guy from Napster?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I bet he wants to shit on Lars Ulrich's lap. Because Lars Ulrich, in a way, shit on his lap.
That's true. That's true, in a way.
Yeah. When you think about it.
I am thinking about it, and I like it. Speaking of stuff I like, YouTube God damn it. Instagram user Dirty Couch Slouch says, "I am so high that at first sight I thought this was a real person." I shared this mostly because of the spelling. Person is spelled Persin.
Yeah, I feel like they did that on purpose.
I feel like they did too. Speaking of doing things on purpose, user Edithism says, "Poop in his balls?"
I mean, the statue doesn't really have balls. And like, no, because like there's obviously kind of like a bulge there, but then like the toilet's like a few inches from that. So you're not pooping in his balls, I don't think.
Not really, but
no, and I think that would change the meaning of the art. But you're like you're sitting in between his legs and taking a poop with him. I feel like is how I read the art. It's like you're pooping with Lars Ulrich, not on Lars Ulrich.
It's a comforting embrace from a friend.
Yeah, and now after talking to the artist, I feel like that might have been kind of his intent. It's like you're pooping, you're riding with the devil and pooping with the drummer from Metallica.
Hell yeah, dude. Speaking of toilets, I went on a statement from the Toilet Void.
Oh, great. You're going to have to explain that.
So what that means is I searched toilet in messages in my phone, and I found in a conversation between you and I some references to a toilet.
Sure.
So this is part of a conversation that was in reference to a meme that is a picture of a toilet where someone has written on the underside of the bottom lid of the toilet,
"Oh yes,
Steve Albini was an inside job."
One of my favorite things.
Yeah, it's really one of my. I don't have that image handy right now, but you had texted me asking me for it, and I somehow was able to respond within minutes with that image.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important image. I wouldn't be surprised if
it probably is.
Makes sense to me.
And we had a conversation about it, but on April 3rd, 2019 at 4:13 p.m., I said, "The machine learning aspect of the Photos app is pretty good, but it failed to recognize that this is a picture of a toilet. Searching toilet brought up 41 other toilet photos I apparently had on my phone."
All pornography.
Oh, yeah. Always pornography.
Oh, always toilet pornography.
Yeah. This is Getting Ahead of Bucketcast, episode 63. Always toilet pornography.
You got it from Poop.
Here's another text between you and I where I said on August 10th, 2020 at 12:56 p.m., "Why are you subscribed to our Taco Bell?" And you responded, "Why aren't you?" So now we have a statement from the Brian Harris Void. For those wondering and listening, Brian's just a guy we know. Don't worry about it. But he's fucking rad.
He used to be in a band with our last guest.
So on September 22nd, 2020 at 8:27 p.m. Brian Harris texted me this image with a text that says, "Dude, I milked a half gram in my bong on the toilet."
I mean, that's a huge bong hit, clearing a full half gram
on the
in one
toilet.
Hit. That'll get you fucked, dude, and that'll kill your lungs. Holy shit.
Brian goes hard. And then he responded.
We know this. Brian is one of the few people I know for certain that can outsmoke me. And there are not that many. That dude.
Yeah,
fucks.
And then he responded after that, BMS, brother. Bong Milk Society.
I like that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That's all I got, bud.
That's the statements.
Statements from the Bucket Board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are to the part of the thing where we say the thing
So
to
specific.
each other.
This is recommendations.
And, recommend something.
Yeah.
Recommend something
I don't
to each other.
know where we're at with the whole recommendations thing right now.
I mean, we can just say whatever because we're gonna do we still have to do the 2 album of the year casts,
and we're also gonna do another cast with Cool Shrek about Quicksand. Hopefully next week. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Well then, cool. So we can just skip that and recommend.
Tight. What you got?
This is not for you, but I recommend Far Life milk. I don't know if I'm lactose intolerant, but I've been drinking lactose-free milk, and there's good lactose-free milk out, and not much good lactose-free milk out there. It has usually been dog shit, and kind of has had this weird thinness for so many years. But recently, I started picking up lactose-free Far Life milk, and it's incredible. Their chocolate milk is incredible.
Okay.
It's I think that's the first food recommendation on the. Oh no, you've recommended Ethiopian food before.
What?
You've recommended Ethiopian food before, so this isn't the first food recommendation.
Yeah,
but
that is true.
But yeah, I would highly recommend Far Life lactose-free milk.
Tight.
What do you got to recommend, Spenser?
Okay. So, you know what? In lieu of a good recommendation this week, I'm just going to tell an anecdote and a recommendation for something not to do. At the beginning of my work week, I work Saturday to Wednesday. So Saturday is my Monday. And this past week, on last Saturday, I had, on my very first break, on my very first day of work in my work week, I went and bought a garlic bagel at a bagel place. Now, a garlic bagel, or how they make it, is like a regular white bagel, but they have like a fuck ton of like garlic cloves on the outside of it that are like all like crispy because they've gone through the oven. It's fucking delicious.
So they're like crispy and like sweet.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're just like garlic. Yeah, roasted garlic basically. Yeah. But they're really good, and they're very like pungent. I didn't eat that bagel. I bought 2 bagels. I also bought an everything bagel, and I ate that bagel, but I didn't eat the garlic bagel. And then I put it in my backpack where I keep my work shirt, and as a result, my backpack and my work shirt very dramatically smelled like garlic the next day. And then.
And you and going back, you have a single work shirt.
Yes,
still.
and I still haven't washed it either.
Yeah. You still haven't washed it, and you still haven't asked for a new one. I have asked for a new
one. They won't give me one. They don't have them. It's not their fault, exactly. There's a shortage going on shirts, and so like they don't have. Nobody has shirts.
So maybe they shouldn't require you to wear the shirts if you only have one left.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they did give me 3, and I lost the other 2. So it's like.
But how many years ago did they give you 3,
It was at the beginning of 2020 that they gave me 3.
Okay. But still, like, they expect you to wear
It's been a while since they gave me some new shirts. They're normally really good about this. They normally give us new shirts like every 3 months. Like it's like very clockwork, 3 months new shirts. But as a result of like the pandemic, like they don't have them or something. I don't know what's going on. But they
should get them made by someone else. Shirts aren't like a sacred thing that other people can't make. It's not a fucking like a Tesla.
I agree.
It's a shirt. Going back to shorts versus Ferrari. This is a shirt. God damn it! It's easy.
I agree. For the sake of the anecdote, don't worry about it.
Okay. So I guess I won't.
This was on Saturday, and I started to experience the effects of my garlic shirt on Sunday. However, to tell it short, the garlic bagel is still in my backpack, and so is my shirt. And it is Thursday.
Why are you publicly talking about this?
Because my life is sad. It's like the people want to know, and I'm here to tell them.
I mean, it's not sad. You're just a shitbag.
Exactly.
I feel like there's a difference.
A little bit. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, oh, would you look at that? The consequences of my actions.
Hate to see it. But anyways, my recommendation is this. If you keep your work shirt in a backpack and never wash it, and you want it to not smell like garlic, don't go buy a really fucking pungent garlic bagel and put it in the same backpack and leave it in there for 7 days. Or not 6 days. Don't do that. It's not recommended.
You should just start saying you're Italian and like
speaking like this. Don't put the bagel.
Hey, why y'all think I smell like a garlic? Of course, it's because of
that's
Italian.
Actually pretty good. Yeah. Why are you think I smell like a garlic?
I love the garlic. Yeah. I guess it is. Where are you, soundboard? There you are. Let's do it.
Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke.
Super duper. Keep the energy going for the jokes. Ha ha ha. Funny jokes. Funny jokes. Telling some jokes. I'm gonna tell some jokes. Spenser here's gonna listen to some jokes while I tell some funny jokes. We're gonna go ha. He's gonna go ha. I'm gonna go ha. Ha 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 ha. Standing ovation, funniest set you've ever had. Thank you very much, Spencer. Thank you very much. You were an okay audience, not great actually. Ha ha ha. Not that funny, not that good. All of my jokes bombed, and I want to die. I want to eat an American apple pie. Tell some jokes, funny.
Fix the jokes,
fix the
stream.
Time.
I fixed the stream. It's not fucked up.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I like my song, but okay. If you want to stop my cool song, I guess I'll tell some jokes.
Yeah,
Why did Fleetwood Mac go to Disney World?
I don't know.
They were told they had some of the biggest lines. What do mitochondria and Elon Musk fans have in common?
It's a great question.
Well, they're both incels.
It's a great joke. Good job.
For being the birthplace of Christ, we sure don't have much information on Mary's pussy. I tried to turn all of my weed into dabs, but I couldn't concentrate. The only way the show Hoarders could have been more depressing is if it was about people who fight against the Alliance on World of Warcraft.
Wow, well, that's a deep cut, especially for somebody who's never played World of Warcraft.
Why are all the members of sludge metal band Crowbar known as psychics?
I don't know.
Well, because they all have 4 chins.
It's a deep cut. It's a deep cut.
My friend asked me if I'm into power metal. I said, yeah, copper is super conductive and useful.
What?
Yeah. After being released from prison, it was announced this week that Disney will actually hire Bill Cosby in a voice role.
Oh, wow.
For an animated feature. They're calling it an extremely roofy movie. It seems awfully cruel to make handicapped alcoholics take a 12-step program.
Damn.
That was Spenser's DNA, like his bowel movements.
How?
Well, they're both in his genes.
Okay. Yes.
That means you poop your pants.
Poop my pants.
And actually, it could also, when you think about it, I mean, like, your DNA is in your genes because you come in your genes as well. So, poop and cum, baby.
Yes.
But we all know that's what the sock is for.
Yes.
Pooping as well. Yeah. You got the poop sock.
You got it.
When you don't want to get up at night, like, you pee in the bottle, you poop in the sock.
It's a multi-purpose tool.
It's the way of the road.
Way of the road, brother.
Poop sock. I fucked up at work real bad, so my boss had one of those come to Jesus talks with me, so I jerked off to the New Testament. I put the cool in illiterate. Because I'm illiterate, I started dating my book's ghostwriter, but they weren't my type.
Wow.
My type, because they type. Wow. It's not my typing.
I get it.
I got real nervous before an orgy the other day, so I just went in. I imagined everybody clothed.
I've heard that joke before.
Have you? Yes. Oh, well. Why does Danzig always take the petty side of arguments?
I don't know.
Because it's impossible for him to be the bigger man.
Yes.
I'll close out on this. My friend got a degree in climate science, but over the last decade, it's become 2 degrees.
Bucket joke.
Where can I find you, Spenser?
Oh, yeah, my website, spenser.zone. What about you, Britt?
You can find me at Dog Vorbis on most socials, or hit me up at a Bucketcast and tell me what kind of toilet you would make. If you could make any toilet out of this, like any person or anything.
Hey, yeah, and if you want to like actually tell us, you could call our voicemail 425-310-2416. I think is the number.
That is the number.
Hell yeah.
We super.
BMS, brother. Bong Milk Society.
Bong Milk Society forever.
Yeah.
I've been Britain.
And this has been Spenser.
No, I've been Prince Midnight.
You've been listening to Gettin Head, a Bucketcast.
A Bucketcast. Stay greasy, Buckethead.
Namaste.